So Bob used to come down to Bermuda as well, so I got friendly with him. But Beatty got me to take him to a Bermuda game once. But anyway, a lot of connections that Paul's had with Bermuda over the years. When Kyle and I were coaching the national team, I think Reese, you were captain at the time, we played New England Revolution several times. Once they got Bermuda hospitality, they came down for 3 years in a row. And of course, the fruit of that for Bermuda players was Connor Smith getting signed by New England Revolution when Paul was coach there. So, you know, you progress that on. We had Freddie Hall when Paul was briefly at Plymouth, having successful trials there. If it wasn't for the financial situation at Plymouth, he would have signed for Plymouth before he signed now in Northampton. It's good to see Freddie doing well the last couple of weeks. He's had a couple of starts. Obviously, Freddie played for the Hogges. Naki Wells played for the Hogges. Great to see Naki doing well at Bradford. You know, I know Paul's keeping an eye on him and seeing what happens there. Last year, Paul and I agreed a deal with the Hogges and TFC to look for these kind of opportunities and get players to Toronto. It's a fine organisation in the MLS, where, for those of you who don't know, that's where David Beckham played. And, you know, we think it's a good fit for a lot of the Bermuda-style players, particularly Reggie. We think his style will really suit the MLS, and we hope to see him set the league alight. I just want to acknowledge Kyle, my partner. This is now coming up our 6th season with the Bermuda Hogges. It's had its ups and downs. It's certainly its financial tribulations, but we're still standing. We've got a great collaboration now with the Bermuda Football Association. We're now in our 3rd full partnership with that. We're working great with DeVar. DeVar's a real fan of the Hogges and what it does for the national team, particularly. And I'm going to ask Mr. Wade, Mark Wade, who's the president of the chairman rather of the Player Development Committee, to speak about the Bermuda FA's involvement and commitment to us. It's just a win-win, and I think we all know that it was a contributing factor to our fine performances at the World Cup qualifying. We won, 3 of our last 4 games. It was a very, I think, memorable performance, and I think the Hogges had a little bit to do with that. And of course, we're delighted that we're able to help to get players away. I mean, Reggie hasn't kicked a ball for the Hogges. Maybe he'll do that when he's 43 or something. But the idea is, if we can help players get away, Kyle uses his contacts, I use mine, Sean's uses his in the past. Anything we can do to help Bermuda footballers get ahead and get to the next level, we'll do that.
Sure. Certainly, from a player development perspective, it's pleasing. We're here primarily for Reggie. Certainly, we're watching him and watching him grow. Most of us watching him grow through Ipswich and going beyond that. Player to have Paul Mariner here. I grew up watching him. It's like quite a few of us in here, even though I'm a Scouser. But, from the red side. I think Paul's been somewhat modest. I think the Hogges have played a very large part in the success of the national team, to be honest. And even graduating players out of the academy through into the senior national team proper. So from the BFA perspective, it's a relationship that's doing well. And we'll battle those financial challenges together and hopefully chart a way forward that is mutually beneficial. So certainly I want to take the time to congratulate the coaches in the back. Scotland's over there, head coach, the Wild Boys for the World Cup campaign. Maurice is in front of me. I think I saw Craig around there somewhere.
Yep,
and there's a couple of players. So I see Davray and Reggie and
Damon's back there. You can't see him. Stand up, Damon.
So the short guys in the back there, and Torian. Yeah, I think the World Cup campaign was fantastic, and I want to take this opportunity to congratulate the players and thank them for their commitment and their performances.
We're going to be playing one additional team called the Baltimore Bohemians, who are out of Baltimore, but other than that, it's the same teams we had last year. So we're going to play Baltimore down here, I think, and Reading away. Reading are coming down here this year. But all the other teams that have been in the division the last couple of years, it's a very strong division, gives our players a lot of preparation. Deval tell you we've got under 20 qualifying in May, so that just flaps into our season. So those players are going to come into the Hogges season very strong, and then at the end of our season, which is in the middle of July, we go straight into Digicel, which is Caribbean Cup qualifying. So the players are going to be as prepared as we can get them, and hopefully we'll get people like Reggie back if Paul allows them, or and some of our overseas professionals to help us with Caribbean Cup. So, but on that note, I want to hand over to my good friend Paul Mariner. He's a great fan of Bermuda's, and I know he's excited about the tie-up with Bermuda players. He's a very big fan of the Bermuda style, and he's watched the Hogges on a number of occasions in the national team. So I'm sure he'll do that, and I think we'll take questions as well at the end if the regular punters don't mind a few more minutes. But Paul, please.
I'd just like to, I want to welcome Reggie and his mum and dad to the Toronto Football Club family, because the one thing about this football club, in my role as Director of Player Development, I oversee the whole club, from the 13-year-old little boys running around to the idiot professionals that Reggie's going to be now. It's a real family. The company is a $2 billion company, as big, if not bigger, than Manchester United and AC Milan, you name it. They're a massive company. The Raptors, the Toronto Maple Leafs, probably the most famous ice hockey team in the whole of Canada. So it's a huge organisation that you're going to work for. This is a massive step for you, Rich. I've managed and coached in the Championship. I know how difficult that league is. And this is an unbelievable opportunity for Reggie Lamb to make himself the poster boy for Bermuda footballers. I thought, honestly, in my heart of hearts, I thought that Callum Smith was going to do it. But I've been seeing you play, I've been seeing you train, I've been seeing you work. You're the guy that's going to do it. It's a massive responsibility for you. I know that you can carry it. I mean, just met your mum and dad very, very briefly. I know you're from great stock, and I know you can do it. That's why we're putting all our faith in you. Brief little football story. Reggie got released from Ipswich. I was scrambling because of my ties with Julian and Charlie, who obviously sponsored Reggie. I always kept tracks on it when he was at Ipswich. And as soon as it released, and I knew that he was bouncing around the lower leagues in England, I thought, I've got to get this guy, I've got to snap him up. So I told Aaron Vinter, who's our head coach, and Bobby Clerk, our assistant, you've got to have a look at this guy. So we flew him up, and to be fair to them, it took them 10 minutes to work out what a talent this boy is. And there's a couple of things that we've got to sort of work out, but really the world is his oyster, it really is. His first game is going to be against the Rogers Centre, 50,000 people. It's already sold out. Playing against LA Galaxy, the champions MLS. Beckham's going to be playing against him. Robbie Keane, Landon Donovan, you name it. Big time. Because I told the coaches that he's going to be starting on 7. And I'm sure he will be. Just expanding on my love affair with Bermuda, Bermudians, is that the right word? Bermudians, I'm sorry, I apologise. First time for my wife to be here. I think I've been here a few times now.
That's a Chelsea fan, by the way.
The people, the taxi drivers, everybody is an absolute credit to your country. They're so welcoming, they're so warm, they're smart, they know everything about the island. It's an absolute joy. I'm here as a vacationer, but here I'm in an official capacity tonight. But the wife and I couldn't have had a more welcoming and a special time, so it's a great time. What I want to just address a little bit now is what I've seen and what I see as the future in football, the relationship between Bermuda, the Hogges and Toronto Football Club. We're allowed to have relationships with teams, with countries. This is one that I really feel there's a pipeline from this country into Canada, and we want to benefit from the likes of Reggie going up there, blowing it out of the water, which I know he's going to do, and hopefully get 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old boys going up there, educating them, making sure that the parents know that when they come up they're going to be really looked after, both housing-wise, educational and on the football field. So that's the sort of message that I want to bring, I want to send. And just to repeat myself once more, Reggie's going to really do it for us. He's going to do it for the Hogges, he's going to do it for Bermuda, he's going to do it for all of us. So I'm proud to welcome Reggie to the club. So welcome Reg, welcome Mum and Dad. I'm really happy that you're with their family. Thank you.